Hello. Today we are going to make a anger management tool, typically for kiddos, to help them stop and think before they react. A lot of kids that have issues with anger and throwing and hitting and kicking things when they get upset is they have impulse control issues. And so this is just a good visual for kids to see and think about when they get upset. So I start out by making a stoplight because everybody knows what a stoplight is. And it doesn't have to look perfect as long as they really know what it is, and usually they will. Okay, so there's the stoplight. I'll typically ask them, what do we do when the stoplight is red? What do we do when the stoplight is green? And then I'll ask them again what we do when the stoplight is yellow. And they'll usually say slow down or something like that. And I'll say for this category or for this activity, we're going to say we think or we choose. So then we think of a scenario. So my mom told me I can't go outside until I clean my room. So that is what makes us upset. Okay. I'm going to write some lines right here. So what makes us upset is we can't go outside until we clean our room. So what do we do if there's a stoplight? Instead of yelling, hitting, kicking, screaming, what can we do when we think of the red light? We can stop, stand, don't react, we tend to just like feel all the feelings of anger. So we talk about with the kids, like, okay, when we get upset, how do we physically feel? Some kids say, my face gets red, my hands get hot, I start sweating. Some kids say I get a headache, or my stomach hurts when I get mad. So we talk about, okay, when we are told this is how we feel. And usually we would hit, kick, scream, yell. But when we use the stop, think, and go method, we stop, feel these feelings so we realize we are getting angry right now because of what mom told us. So we stop and we just don't react. We don't hit, kick, scream, and yell. We stop, notice our bodies. So that's what we do in the stop section. We stop and notice our bodies. So then when we get to the yellow section, we can choose how we react. What do we do? So we can choose to run out of the room, we can choose to yell, hit, or we can ask questions, think of the consequences, and then after we think about what we're going to do, so we're stopping, thinking, and then we react. So we think and choose in this section. So we think about what do we do. So we feel the feelings, we realize how we feel because of what we are told. So we feel the feelings and then we react. We can still choose the negative behaviors. That's not the best choices, but those choices are still there. The positive choices would be here, but it's still up to the child to decide what are they going to think and choose. So then once they choose their reaction, they take action in what they decide to do. So we write down action, do. So they can take a deep breath. And then ask mom questions about what she wants them to do. They can get the answer. Which would be clean room. Then go outside. Or they can just decide to clean their room without asking questions, because that's what mom asked. The negative choices would be to yell or hit. So we talk about just kind of the various stages of the event. You want to go outside, your mom says you can't go outside because you have to clean your room first. So at this point, you can just immediately, impulsively react by kicking, screaming, yelling, throwing yourself on the floor, whatever you typically do when you're upset. Or you can stop, feel the feeling of anger bubbling up, so you're realizing that you're angry, and so you don't react with the running out of the room, yelling, hitting, or kicking. Or you can respond that way, or you can just stop, feel the feelings of anger, ask questions, or think of the consequences before you react. And then you choose. You could take a deep breath and ask mom questions like, what all do I have to clean my room? Do I just have to pick the things up off the floor, or do I have to make my bed? Do I also have to dust things? Like what are those types of questions you might need to ask mom, so that you know how much you do need to do before you get the privilege of going outside. She gives you your answer and you clean your room. Or you can stop, feel that you're angry, think about the consequences, take a deep breath, and walk and clean your room. That would be the ideal. So we just kind of run through the various different decisions that one can make in this scenario. And then we just help to remind them to think the next time when you're upset, think of the stoplight. It's a good visual, and it's a lot of times when someone's upset, they need visuals in their mind to kind of regulate them and help them to remember, oh yeah, I need to stop and think first before I react. So that's why we make these visuals, especially for kiddos. And you can do this with any type of scenario and just go through the various stages with them. And it's okay to do this several times. If you're a parent, you can have maybe a stoplight posted on your kitchen refrigerator, or in a special place so that you can whip it out and be like, hey, stoplight, what are we supposed to do? So it's a good reminder for kiddos when they are getting upset, to remember to stop and think and make good choices. So that's the stop, think, choose, go stoplight for anger management.